Nearly 23 million Americans who had COVID now have long COVID. This means they have COVID-related symptoms more than 3 months after recovering from COVID-19.
Hello everyone, I'm Sign1News anchor Vanessa Paloma-Bazarnik. Here's a quick look at the top trending international news stories in ISL making headlines today. If you post an interesting comment about this update, we may add it at the bottom of the screen. According to authorities in Mexico, 45 bags filled with human body parts was discovered in a ravine in Guadalajara. Officials say the characteristics of the remains match 7 missing call center staff, 5 men and 2 women. The employees were reported missing between May 20th and May 22nd. Recovering all the bodies could take days because the ravine is so deep. And coroners say it will take a few days to confirm the identities of the bodies. The country has been troubled by an epidemic of disappearances, with more than 100,000 Mexicans and migrants missing. There has been outrage across Iran following the execution of 3 tortured protesters. The families of prisoners gathered outside the jail chanting, "Do not hang them." The executions happened after a 4-month pause. The brutal practice restarted this month with the hanging of 3 young men accused of killing 3 members of the security forces during anti-government protests in November. But activists and human rights groups say the allegations against the 3 men were false. According to CNN reporting, the total number of demonstrators known to have been executed since last year is 7. And more executions are likely imminent. Human rights activists say over 100 protesters have been sentenced to death or are facing charges punishable by death. The news sparked more demonstrations. Iran has not responded to CNN's request for comment. In Kyiv, a devastating image has emerged on social media, emphasizing the brutality and tragedy of Russia's war. In the picture, a grandfather is watching over the body of his 9-year-old granddaughter, who was killed in Russian missile strikes. Officials are investigating whether her death could have been prevented. She and her mother, along with a 3rd person, died after trying to get into a bomb shelter, but it was locked. Ukraine's military said it shot down all 10 missiles fired at Kyiv in the latest round of attacks. The 3 deaths in Kyiv early Thursday were caused by falling debris. An alleged Russian spy whale is in Swedish waters, according to advocates of one whale. The beluga whale nicknamed Vladimir, is famous for sightings like this one in Norway in 2019. Experts say it is possible the Russian military trained him after he was spotted wearing a harness with camera mounts on its forehead. Vladimir recently swam away from Oslo, where boat traffic posed a dangerous situation for him. Swedish authorities were praised for closing a bridge and taking other actions to keep the whale safe. Belugas are a protected species. June is Pride Month. There will be parades, festivals, and concerts to celebrate the LGBTQ community all over the world. But in the East African nation of Uganda, it is facing intense condemnation from Western countries and human rights groups. Earlier this week, the country approved an extreme anti-LGBTQ law. It mandates the death penalty for so-called aggravated homosexuality, and simply engaging in gay sex could lead to life in prison. The law also criminalizes sex education for the gay community and encourages Ugandans to report LGBTQ individuals. Human rights activists say they are prepared to challenge the law because it is discriminatory, repressive, and violates basic human rights. According to UNICEF, over 13 million children in Sudan urgently require life-saving humanitarian support. Even though there is a ceasefire between the country's military and the rapid support forces to allow humanitarian aid, civilians are still suffering, especially the children. According to UNICEF, food, safe water, electricity, and telecommunications are either unavailable or unaffordable. And basic services have been cut off, schools bombed, hospitals and health centers looted, damaged, and destroyed. Over 1 million people have fled their homes since the fighting started. Half of them are children. In case you missed it, Jordan's Crown Prince Hussein bin Abdullah II officially married his fiancée, Rajwa Al Saif, in an epic royal wedding on Thursday. Crown Prince Hussein announced his engagement in August 2022. The wedding date was announced in 2023 on New Year's Eve. And the couple got married in an Islamic marriage ceremony at Zahran Palace. That's the same place the prince's parents were married in 1993. 140 people from around the world attended the wedding, including England's Prince William and Kate Middleton, and U.S. First Lady Jill Biden. Goats in England have kicked off a 30-day race around the world to raise money for the Zoological Society of London. Nine pygmy goats from the London Zoo are challenging 2 golden Guernsey goats from the Whipsnade Zoo. Together, they are hoping to walk, cycle, or swim a total of 40,000 kilometers, or nearly 25,000 miles during the month of June. That's equivalent to the circumference of the globe. Fans can donate and track the goats' progress on the Zoological Society of London's website. Sign1News will be broadcasting international news updates in ISL every Sunday. A big thank you to our Sign1News app supporters. You help make this broadcast happen. You can download the Sign1News app by heading to the App Store or Google Play Store on your smartphone. And you can also watch on Apple TV, Amazon, and Roku.